Welcome to October. Today is actually October 2nd, and I just had time to film this right now. This month's video will be a lot shorter than September's because I am going to do the market recaps separately. So every time I go to a market, I'm going to do the recap on a different video, and that will be posted probably in November. I do plan on going to the farmer's market all 4 Saturdays in October. Fingers crossed the weather's good on each of them. And I also signed up for a Sunday market on one of the Sundays. Thanksgiving Sunday, so the 12th. This is the first month I have to sit down and peel off the calendar because of my office refresh. So let's do that next. You can see that September was a very happy month for Larry. Everything that has a heart on it was his happy days. He actually only had one asshole day, so that was nice to see. And the other days, mainly the weekends, he was on vacation at the local doggy D-A-Y-C-A-R-E. Can't say the word right now because he's right there. And he's very smart and he knows all his words. It's very annoying. So let's peel this off and get into October. Of course, I'm still saving these to update Larry's mood blanket, which is going to be a New Year project probably, just because 1 month usually takes me about 2.5 hours to do because of all the baubles that I chose to do. But I still like the pattern that I am using. I am working on it slowly and randomly. It is a project though that is hard to set down and walk away from. Like I have to do like 1 month at a time, otherwise I lose my progress. So as you know, I always keep track of my full skeins that I end up using throughout the month and my partial skeins. If you haven't watched this series before, you may not know that when I finish a skein, it's completely finished. It's gone, there's nothing left. If there is a strand like 1 meter in length, then I save it and then it doesn't count. Like I don't even put it under partial because it goes in my scrap bin. So eventually, probably soon here in October, I am going to crochet everything up in my scrap bin because it is getting overflowed right now. Just when I finish things and they have, as I said, like 1 meter strand, I throw it in that basket or the bucket and I usually, like for a few months I wasn't doing this, but I recently seen one of my favorite content creators, Miss Megan Made Me, here's her screenshot thing, here on YouTube. She had done like a really cool looking monkey. I won't do a monkey, I don't like monkeys. Random fact about me, with all of her scrap yarn, and she changed color every row. I won't be doing that. I think she's crazy for doing it, but good for her. So I plan on doing like a larger plushie with that. I do have some charity stuff to do this month, so I might do it for one of those. It actually is my favorite month of the year. Steve and I met in October of 2010, and then we also got married in October of 2015. And I just love the fall foliage colors here in Ontario, Canada. It's just such a beautiful month. And I know winter comes right after it, and it's like, ugh, boo, that's not something I look forward to because we're stuck inside all winter, but it's nice to enjoy this season. I have the porch all decorated. I have some fall mums outside. Our local grocery store was doing a Facebook offer thing of 2 potted mums for $10, regular $9 each. So that's one I definitely claimed. So that was nice. And then my friend has a little farm stand that you can go and buy her breads, and sometimes her daughters make cookies. They have farm fresh eggs, some fruits and stuff that she grows in her garden, and pumpkins. So I have committed to quite a few things here in October, and I'm fine with that because a lot of it was my doing. So I do need to make 3+1 of my palm puppies. Here's a picture, and this pattern is by Curious Papaya. I will link it below, of course. I use that pattern for all of my puppies every time I make something for the market. There is a fundraising group to start a local dog park in our area, and I'm very excited about that. Originally, I was going to join the fundraising committee, but then I got busy with my corporate job and then lost my job, and I just haven't gone back. But a friend of mine is kind of like the lead on it. So she asked me to create she had said, can you create something for like our a silent auction raffle prize thingy that they're doing, and I said sure, I'll do multiple. So I plan on doing 3 for that initiative, and then I do want to do a larger size of the same pattern, so I'm just going to double up the pattern for a local dog rescue that I kind of volunteer for. Like I'm on their volunteering committee, like it's like a Facebook Messenger like group thing that I'm on, and I offer my time and services when I can, but I'm not heavily involved. But I figured, I can use my skill sets to help them out. I might as well. I also need to start making all the little baby ghosts for Halloween. In September, I had bought a Facebook Marketplace haul of, I think, 6 white skeins from someone of Bernat blanket yarn, and they smelled horrible. Not because of the person. They were still sealed in the plastic bags of like the 2-pack of skeins that she had ordered online, but they smelled really bad, like shipping container, musty grossness, and my hands smelled after winding them into cakes, and I was like, okay, now I know it's not going to be easy or pleasant to work with, so I just had to toss them, which kind of sucks. I do want to make 80 little mini ghosts for Halloween, so I'm going to hand them out on Halloween night. And I think 80 is a safe number. We don't usually have a whole lot of kids come here. And honestly, if they don't all go for Halloween, I can keep them for next year. Or I'll keep them and, you know, put them at the local park for kids to find. Another charity initiative that I am working on, that'll be in a separate video, is our local Pride committee. They are doing a movie night at our local movie theater. They're showing Rocky Horror Picture Show. And I had reached out to them and I had said, hey, how about we do like some little mini plushies, because I have time right now. And people can pay what they can for them, and then all the funds go back to their committee and, you know, for future events. So they said, sure, that'd be great. And then they gave me a list of things that they would like to see. You know, like just like little items that I would sell at the market for like $5 to $10, so small things. I already have the pickles done for that. They're actually right behind my head right there. I'm doing 4 of each plushie, but that's in a separate video, so I'm not going to talk about it here. Another project I need to work on this month is a baby shower gift. Steve's cousin is expecting a baby with his wife. They got married, I think in November last year. I remember because there was a big snowstorm on the way home and took forever to get home. Usually it's an hour and a half drive, but it took honestly close to 3 hours just because of how bad the weather was. So thanks for getting married in November, Patrick. But you know, they're farmers, so they had to get married sometime, and it's usually in the winter when farmers end up getting married. So I did reach out to his wife, and I had asked her, I said, is there anything specific you want me to crochet? Is there something that you're missing that you would like made, or something handmade? Like, what would you like, right? And I said, I can crochet anything. And she had said, I would love a breastfeeding cover-up in a poncho style. So I thought, you know what, that's cool. I never even thought about that because, you know, who crochets breastfeeding cover-ups? There are patterns out there, so I might follow a pattern, I might not. I probably honestly will just do like a top-down yoke type thing and then just keep expanding it out. So she can, you know, have the room under it. And because it's a winter baby, she said she doesn't mind a warm yarn. I'm not going to use Bernat blanket. I do believe I am going to use Bernat Forever Fleece. It is a really nice warm yarn, and it is nice to work with. I also want to make them, of course, like a little plushie, so probably a tiny teddy. Although that being said, they are chicken farmers, so maybe I'll make them like a little baby chicken out of a pattern pack that I have. Here's the pattern pack. I believe it's by Atomic Crochet. And it's a really great pattern pack. I've made multiple things out of it now. It's just a lot of fun to work up. So I might end up making them a chicken if I can get the right colors here. They are unsure of the gender of their baby, and they're not going to find out until, well, baby pops out. So I don't want to do anything color specific because the baby shower will be before the baby arrives, as far as we all know anyway. But the mom is very much a Disney girl. She loves everything Disney. Of course, with the holiday season coming up, I do want to make more sweaters. In September, I was able to get 8 cardigans done, so that was very great to do. I do believe that I have about 8 sweater quantities right now available here on my yarn cubes, so that is something I want to continue with. I do have a good system going with that. It's been really helpful for me and my brain. So basically in the evenings before bed, I'm up in my crochet chair. Here's a picture of my lovely crochet chair. I love it so much. It's new, so I love it. Well, it's not new, it's new to me. And it's been really handy because in the evenings, what I have been doing is I take up a sweater quantity, well, not the whole sweater quantity of yarn. I take up 2 or 3 skeins when I'm ready to start a new one. And then I'm able to start just, you know, at the bottom and work my way up to like the armpit area, usually in one evening. Something else I want to continue with this month is more cat ear beanies. I started making them in September. Some of them I do add pom-poms to, so I add 2 pom-poms. And, you know, some of them I don't add pom-poms to, so they can stay as cat ear beanies. How many times can I say pom-poms in this clip? That's a lot of pom-poms. But I'm using a lot of pom-poms right now because there's 2 pom-poms on each cat ear beanie. And I just want to make enough to use up all the pom-poms that I had ordered from Temu. I believe I had ordered 28, so quite a few left to go, and I think I have 2 or 3 random ones from Yarn Inspirations. That was free from my former workplace in my floral cabinet over there. So I have a few more to make. This weekend I plan on going into Michael's after the farmer's market so I can get some Charisma loops and threads yarn. Either the tweeds or like the, you know, just the fun print colors. There's one called Dragonfly that's like purple and green that I really like, and then there's one called Rose Garden, which I've used quite a bit already. You know, I just want to be able to use up the pom-poms and use up my softy chunky yarn up there. So that's my plan for this weekend. Since I'm not doing the market recaps in this video and they will be in a separate video, I feel comfortable with doing daily updates for you guys. And when I say daily updates, I mean every time I get something done. It's not going to be an update every single day. So that's quite a few projects for October, but that's okay because, you know, I subjected myself to most of them and I love crocheting and haven't found a new job yet, but we'll find one soon, hopefully. And then we'll, you know, continue to crochet in the evenings and stuff once I do find another job. It's only the 2nd of October, as I said, so I have completed a few things already. I made this one on the, I guess I made it yesterday morning as I was upstairs crocheting before I started my day. And these have the 2 pom-poms on it. And these are the black pom-poms that I had ordered from Temu. It was like a variety pack of colors. I got one neon colored pack and then one like neutral, boring brown, black, white, cream color package. So as I mentioned, I'm only putting pom-poms on a few of them. So if I have a matching one, it doesn't get the pom-poms. So these are the 2 matching. So pom-poms, no pom-poms. And then for Christmas, what I did last year at my aunt's place, I had made a bunch of beanies specifically to take as my contribution to our stocking stuffers. And then of course I took other things too. And I laid them out on the table and I said, take a hat if you want a hat. If you don't, that's cool, that's fine. And my uncles, my cousins, some of my aunts took some. So that's the first one of the season for our holiday celebration. Today is Friday, the 3rd of October, and this morning I dropped Larry off at daycare because we're going to be away most of the weekend and he might as well go to daycare. So I dropped him off and then I was like, you know what, I might as well go into that town and, you know, hit up the thrift stores super quick. And then they have a super center Walmart and they have like those bag salads, and there's one that I really like, the Asian sesame. We can't get it here at our local Walmart because it's not a super center or a superstore, whatever you want to call them. So, oh well. But when I'm in that town, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go grab some. So I did that. And then at the thrift store, and this is something I have been stocking up on throughout the year, is the mesh laundry bags. And these are quite large. They had 14 of them for $2.49 each. So I did ask to speak to the manager and I said, if I take all 14, could I have them all for $1 each? Because I can buy them at the dollar store for $1 each. But I'd rather keep these out of the landfill at the thrift store. And she was like, she hemmed and hawed for a few seconds. I'm like, oh, she's gonna say no. But then she's like, yeah, okay, whatever. So that was nice. So I got 14 of these for $1 each. Yesterday I was looking at Michael's online and it was the 30% off one regular price item. So I placed some online orders so I could just pick them up in the store, not, you know, walk around and then spend more money. And I thought, you know, it's a good way to do it because there was 2 things in the store I wanted to get, but I wanted to see in person. But I placed 5 orders online. I got Steve to do 2 of them from his cell phone, so because it was the ones with the different barcodes. So I just did it that way. Let me show you what I bought. It is all Loops and Threads Charisma, so I can do more of those cat ear beanies I was just talking about. I got 2 of this color, Strawberry Multi. But they're purple. Like, I don't understand how that's strawberry, but whatever. It's a nice color. And I probably will pair this, like stripe it with white. These 2 orders, so the strawberry one and this one, were actually from this morning because so this is China Blue Heather. I've used this before in a cardigan. It's a really pretty color. This is the color, I believe, Cappuccino, which is just strange to me because I don't think cappuccinos are teal in color. I would say they're more like brown and coffee colored. Next up, I love this one, is Mulberry Bush. It's a beautiful color. I love this one. I have used this before in, I think, a hexagon cardigan for a few rows, and it's a beautiful, beautiful color. I do wish on their ball bands they had, like, you know, the variegation of it so you could like see how it looks, you know, crocheted up a little bit, but they don't. Oh well. So I got one of each of those. And then this is the color Black Raspberry. I love this one. It's so pretty. And then this one, I believe, is Autumn. Autumn Sky, but online it's Autumn. I've noticed that the color names on the ball bands are different from what they have it listed for online. So I'm assuming online on their little drop-down menu thing, they can only fit so many characters, so they just kind of take off one word. You know, it's nice to use these variegated yarns with those cat ear beanies. I think they work up nicely, and I can usually stretch one skein into 2 hats if I do like certain row repeats. The last weekend of September, I went to a 4-hour market on a Sunday, and somebody had asked me, she had said, do you do customs? I'm looking for a very specific plushie I've never seen somebody have at their booth before. And I had said, oh yeah, totally. Send me a message on Instagram or wherever, and I gave her my card. Most people don't end up following up, but this girl did, so that's my first time somebody's actually followed back up with me, besides my sister, to make something. She had said the baby gift is for the baby of a police officer couple. So she was like, could you make me a police officer? And I was like, I know I've seen a pattern for this, and it's by Madeline Mako. So I'll put the little screenshot up here for you. And it's just so cute. I bought it off her Etsy shop already. And I already had 2 colors of the Demi Pearl from Loops and Threads Michaels, the new one. I have a hot pink, which is like right behind me. And then I have this, this is just a cheapie from Timboo. So I can use that for the yellow. And then something I had here already that I had picked up recently-ish is Baltic Sea. So I had that one already here. And then I picked up these 2 today. So this is, I think, Navy Peony. And this one is almost apricot. So I can use this for the skin tone. Well, you can see the thumbnail there. The officer's uniform. Then the light blue, of course, will be the officer's shirt color. And then the yellow is for like the little details. So I'm excited to make that. I had said to the customer, I had charging her $35, and I had said, oh, I already have 2 other colors here. So I said, that's fine. I said, oh, I'm so excited to make this. I never actually made a person before. I mean, I have patterns in my pattern library, but I just haven't made them yet. I'm excited to make this, and it's gonna be a fun little challenge for myself. It is now Tuesday, October 7th, and over the weekend I gave myself a break, which was much needed. My hands were feeling a little sore. So I started up again yesterday. Yesterday I made one of the knitted swatches, so I have 2 more left to go. One of the smaller 18-inch ones, and then one 24-inch one. For this weekend at the farmer's market, I want to make some more Drip the Octopus. I know I'm winding down the plushies now, but I have a really hard time selling them if there's only one on the table. And right now I do only have one left, so I wanted to make another blue one, because the other one I have left is one made with North Sea. Here's the picture. So this is Bernat Blanket Patchwork and Citrus Splash. I just let it do its thing. And then this is in Celestial Blue. It's a really nice color. I plan on making 2 or 3 more Drift the Octopus before this weekend as well. So for the charity initiative I was talking about earlier, here's one of the puppies. So cute. This is the Pom Puppies pattern by Curious Papaya. Here's the thumbnail screenshot thing. And this is a color I had found at like an outlet store. And then I've never done this before with this pattern. Same pattern, but I just put the head on top, so he's like a sitting puppy rather than, you know, like a laying down puppy. I'm not sure how many I'm gonna give for the charity initiative. They never really gave me a number, but I do plan on doing some for a local puppy rescue, wild dog rescue as well. So far I have 2 done. I would like to get 5 done in total, and then my sister does want one for a gift for a friend. So maybe I'll do 6, maybe I'll do 5, I don't know yet. I'm making an okay progress on the Halloween minis that I'm handing out at Halloween night. I think I have about 8 done. Of course I want to get to 80. So, you know, it's just, October's such a busy month for me. I have, you know, gifts to make, and I have other things to make, and, you know, just Halloween night, and then I have the Pride fundraiser thing coming up, and it's a busy month. Speaking of the Pride fundraiser, I do have all those plushies done. I'm not going to show them to you right here in this video just because I have another video out about it. I don't know which one's premiering first, this one or the other one, because I do want to film a little bit about that night, and that's not coming up until I think the 21st, so 2 weeks from now. But I got those done, so yay. Feels good to get that off my list. And there's 36 plushies in there. I did take some from inventory, and I knew I was going to do that, so that's okay. I have started the breastfeeding cover-up for Steve's cousin's wife. I'm just doing like a yoke down, and then instead of, you know, splitting right here to do like sleeve holes, I'm just gonna keep flaring it out. But I got her to measure from her like nape of her, not the nape of her neck, sorry, like her collarbone down to like her nipple, because I said to her, I said, I'm doing a nice design so it's more breathable a little bit with some double crochets. I had said, but I don't want obviously like the section where the baby's gonna be and you're exposed to be see-through with double crochets. So I got her to measure for me. So I can do a few more rows, and then I gotta do some like solid like single crochets or maybe some half doubles. We'll see, I don't know yet. But it's coming along nicely. And then the next color I'm gonna add is this one. I think it's really nice. And like these are, you know, winter colors, her colors. And something that I have heard from multiple friends of mine or like my sister-in-laws, you know, when they had their breastfeeding cover-ups, they always complained about, you know, companies make them in like a tube shape, but then you still have to wrap everything around, right? Or, you know, some companies make them in like a big scarf and you still have to wrap it around 1,000 times, you and your baby. So you're trying to do this, you know, and you're wrapping the thing around you for cover-up. So I had said to, who did I say it to? Oh, I said to my mother-in-law, because I told her that the cousin asked me to make this, and she was like, oh, that's a good idea. How are you going to do it? And I said, from experience, not like myself personally, we don't have kids. from experience, I've heard that they're manufactured a little weird and they're a pain in the butt. So I want to do poncho style so she can put her head through it, or her husband can throw it on her, ring toss style, and then she can still feed the baby quickly. And my mother-in-law was like, that's a good idea because nobody does them that way. I'm like, exactly. There you have it. That's everything I think I've gotten done. Oh, my new virtual reality headset arrived. I've been using that over the past few days, so that's been really cool. I'm really enjoying it, and it's just such a fun experience. It's so immersive. Like, I can't believe how realistic and weird feeling it is, but I love it anyway. So I'm so happy that I did that for myself, and I used my knitting money from all those 28 swatches from last month, and that paid for that, plus a subscription to like games and stuff. And it also helped pay for the $140 blanket yarn purchase that you would have already seen the yarn haul for. The thumbnail's this one here. That's my update for the past few days, and I'll update you again in a few days when I have more things done. Good morning, it is now Thursday, October 9th, and over the past few days I finished this beautiful sweater. So this is Bernat Baby Blanket Dappled, and I think the color is like pink, maybe? I don't know. I'll put the color name up here on screen for you. This is the one that I went back to the warehouse sale just to get more of this, because originally I had bought two, and I was caking it up into cakes, and I was like, this would make a beautiful sweater. So I went back just to get some so I could make this beautiful thing. And it turned out wonderfully. I accidentally made it way too wide. So I start, of course, with the bottom, do a foundation chain, and I was like, okay, great, that's a good width. But as I was working it up, I got two skeins in, I was like, and the height of the two skeins was like this. I'm like, uh-oh, because that's how I can tell. So that's okay, because it's honestly probably like, maybe like a 6 or 7X. It's quite large. But you know what, that's okay, because I like to have a variety of sizes, as I've said before. So now I only have one of these, so I'm going to move it over to like, you know, my one-off skeins. That's how I work things, because sweater quantities go in the first row, if you may remember from watching my channel. So that cube is now empty, because I moved the one left over there. Here's the back side of the sweater. I like the way it's striped, and like everything looks like really natural together. I really appreciate that about the dappled. And because I made it too wide accidentally, I was able to put the front panel to be a lot larger than it normally is. So you can see there, and because of it being so wide, I only had to make the sleeves 11 inches, like when I connected them here. So that worked out great. And I really like the way it looks. My husband was like, you look so cute in pink. Maybe you should keep that one for yourself. And I was like, well, no, because I recently kept one for myself. That was a hexagon cardigan, and I have been wearing that one a lot. So if this doesn't sell during my markets, sure, I'll keep it, but that's okay if it does sell. I could always make another one, because this yarn is still available. I finished the custom order for somebody picking up from me on a market this coming Sunday. It's the Little Policeman by Madeline May Co. It's so cute. I did modify it quite a bit, so let's talk about that. I used the demi pearl yarn for the first time, and I really enjoyed it. It was really fun to work with, and I would definitely use it again. So I do have the 4 skeins, as I was talking about. And so the skin color, I reached out to the customer and confirmed that it was a Caucasian police officer as the parent, just in case I had to grab a different skin tone. So she appreciated me checking that. So the skin tone there is almost apricot. The navy is navy peony. And this one is called Baltic Sea. Surprised I remember that, but I did. The yellow yarn is just something I had from Temu for a while, so I used that. And it was really well made pattern and easy to understand. I did have to add in some Bernat blanket on the black for his little shoes. In black for his little shoes, because I didn't have any of the demi pearl in black. Because of the way the pattern is worked up, I had to make his little like black shoes in like more stitches rather than just what the pattern calls for, because blanket yarn is thinner than the demi pearl yarn. It would have looked really funny. That's what I modified on that portion of it. And then to change the, the leg color, like the pants color to here, I did a row of back loop only, like to join them. So I guess you can kind of see it there. Just so like it looks more seamless rather than, like the looking like teeth, the jagged edges. So that worked out nice. And then also something else I modified is the hat. You were supposed to get like one more increase round, but then it would because it is supposed to sit on the head and kind of puff up a bit, but it looked really funny and I just didn't like it. So I modified the hat. Here's a funny angle for you. Larry wanted to be invested in this part. So he wants to show you the Mom Stitch Eddie frogs we were making last night. The first one. It's a purple one. I'm just using some scraps that I had like 30 grams of in the skein. So, a tenth of a skein technically. This one is a water slide variegated. I love that yarn. It's Bernat Blanket Brights. Here's a scrappy one. I like the way this one turned out. It's just so funny. You were interested a few seconds ago. He just woke up, so he's a little dopey. Here's a nice blue one. This one looks like it's wearing pants. It's because of the way I had to work it up. This one's the color Lunar. That's Bernat Blanket tie-dye-ish. Yes. Here's a nice pastel pink one. And these are going towards my Halloween handouts. There are some that I'm embroidering the eyes on, of course. Larry, please don't hit the tripod. Here's one with the, purple dot yarn, whatever it's called. You giving the frog kisses? And here's another solid purple. So that's all I got finished last night during Survivor. And I worked a little bit on the knitted swatch I just talked about. So let's count them. 11. So that's pretty good for I think I worked on these for about an hour. And the last half hour of the Survivor, because it's an hour and a half, we watched upstairs in bed. That's pretty good for my Halloween initiative. So I want to get to 80 in total. I have no idea how many I have right now. Today is Friday, October 10th, and today is our wedding anniversary. My husband was home early from work yesterday. He had a dentist appointment and then just came home right after. So we had our annual meal yesterday. We have a touristy, fancy-ish restaurant in our area who does a really good home-cooked Thanksgiving meal, like turkey, stuffing, all the good stuff, hairdressing, whatever you want to call it. Canadian Thanksgiving is this weekend, so if you're watching this and you're in America, you're like, what? So I picked up that meal on the way back from a nature walk type of thing that Larry and I did. I had a friend tell me about a, I guess it's called a wetlands preserve, and we don't have a whole lot like in our area. So it was a 45-minute drive to get there to do the walk and everything, but it was a lot of fun. You know, it's just something to do in the afternoon and give my hands a break from, like, you know, working with yarn and stuff. So Larry and I went and did that yesterday, and I will insert the clips next for the nature walk we fun. And you know, people always say, oh, there's so much wildlife there, and the only wildlife I seen were cicadas. I was hoping to see some turtles or some, you know, big birds or some herons or something, but no, nothing. Not even fish in the water, but that's okay. It was still fun. And it was a really long walk. I think we were walking around there for maybe like an hour and a half. I didn't realize how expansive it was, but it was fun. And we'll probably do that again sometime. When I got home, I made another Drift the Octopus in the color Easter Egg. So that'll be going with me to the market tomorrow. And then my favorite color of Chenille Home is this peacock color, as we've talked about, and it works so nice for Drift the Octopus. So I have 3 of them on the go. This is the only one I have finished so far, but I have the heads finished for the other 2, so I can finish up the tentacles today so I can take them to the market tomorrow. The Bernat blanket ones I always sell for 20. I could get away with selling these for 30 or 25, but I probably will keep them at 20 because I did get this yarn on clearance, and I can get usually two Drift the Octopus out of one skein, so it only cost me $3 each plus the stuffing plus the eyes, so I feel comfortable selling them at 20. Hopefully they sell. I mean, Drift the Octopus is so popular for me, and they're fun to work on. I finished a sloth snuggler for a custom order. She's going to pick it up for me on a market this coming Sunday. She ordered it with the policeman I already showed you, and this is something I just freehanded. I kind of took a look at like patterns out there, and I was like, you know what, I'm just going to freehand something. So I like the way it turned out. Like it's for like a newborn baby. It's a baby gift. So I just did sleepy eyes and then embroidered the nose. I did the eye patches and stuff. It is hard to see because they're both brown yarns, but it's so hard to find any brown yarn in Bernat blanket, as we all know. Something I just freehanded. I did like the leg knots. So that was freehanded. She's paying me $30 for that one. Also, she's paying $30 for the police officer, if I forgot to mention that earlier. There's a YouTube channel that I really like watching. Her name is Shannon Brown, and here's like her little screenshot thing. I'll link her channel below. I like watching her videos. She seems so down to earth and sweet. And I was watching one of her videos this morning, and she was talking about this pattern I hadn't seen before, so it must be new. And it's called Noodles the Kitten. Look how cute this is. This is by Peach Puff Patterns. I will also link it below. And just adorable. So this probably took me about 45 minutes, but I definitely could get it down to, you know, less than that because this was my first time making it. Adorable. I did modify the pattern, however. I didn't end up stuffing the body or lightly stuffing the legs or anything, just because, you know, it's like a thicker like Bernat tweed, so there's no point. And the head is the one thing that I did modify on this one. Basically, you're supposed to do the ears afterwards, like sew them on, or sorry, service crochet them on, but ain't nobody got time for that. I just did them in the round, and I just love it so much. It's just so cute and tiny. So I'm going to try to sell her for 20. I'm just going to take the one and we'll see if she sells. And if not, I'll sell her for 15. But I think 20 is pretty reasonable considering it took me 45 minutes and I try to pay myself $20 an hour. It's so cute. I just love the size of this. Like, it's adorable. And of course, if you use smaller yarn, they'll come out smaller. I got some more frogs done for my Halloween handouts and also one ghost. I still had to put a smile on the ghost, but here's the ghost frog. I like making them look like they're wearing pants. That's kind of been something that I've been like striving to do just because it's so funny. This one was truly a scrappy. Same with this one, very scrappy. There's 3 different yarns there. And this one was a full piece. I took it out of something else that I deconstructed. So how many was that now? 1 and 7. So I will cross that off my Halloween to-do thingies. I don't know how many I really have done. I am curious, so I'm going to count it and I'll put the number here as I'm editing. See how many out of 80 I have finished. Good morning. Today is Monday, October 13th, and it's Canadian Thanksgiving today, so happy Thanksgiving whenever you see this. I know my American followers will be like, okay, thank you. Thanksgiving's coming up the end of November for us, but in Canada it's the second Monday of October usually. Over the weekend I had 2 different markets. I had my usual farmer's market on Saturday from 7 a.m. till 3:30 p.m. So when I was there, I was working on one of my knitted swatches, the 24-inch one. So I got a lot of that done, and I saved the rest, like last 2 rows, for when I was at home and I could measure everything and blah blah blah. And I also worked on some of my double pom-pom beanies when I was there. So I got a lot of those done, which was nice. And then yesterday, Sunday, I had a 10 till 2 market, so only 4 hours. Ended up being 5 hours because of the weather. A lot of us stayed later because the shoppers were there when the weather finally cleared nicely. So that worked out okay. And I worked on more pom-pom beanies then as well. I don't have them to show you because I still have to weave in the ends, and you know, I think I have to stitch like 2 or 3 of them together still, and they're in the car. So I'm not gonna show them to you right now, but you'll see them soon. But that being said, what I was doing, you know, just my downtime on the couch in the evenings, I was making some mini plushies for handing out on Halloween. I have this bucket filled of just tiny skeins. So skeins are not like completely full, but you know, full enough to make a few little small things. So let me show you what I have finished. Also, I just put my moisturizer on, so that's why my face is shiny, just FYI. I made one of those little mini axolotl keychains. I had made a few of them for the $5 Market Make series, and I thought, you know what? It's simple, it's small, I'm gonna do it. I had a bunch of chenille Home Sweet Snuggles, like the chenille yarn, in this bucket that were like little partial pieces. So I made some bees. So here's the first one. The second one I still had to put wings on, but I needed to come in here and grab some of the little tiny scraps, so I have to do that today. So I'm gonna leave him out. Here's another one. This one's my favorite. Or no, this one isn't my favorite. This is my least favorite. Just because you can't really see the eyes because it made the face dark. But I want to try everything. No, this is my favorite one. Here he is. So light color face, like the medium color stripes, and then the dark wings. I think that's so cute. So I thought there was one more. Here he is. And then I was looking through Instagram for, you know, just some inspiration. And I think it's MelissaCrochets Creations. I'll put her, the screenshot up here for you. And it's like a little mouse. She also gives you instructions for a granny square to like put with the mouse, like a, you know, like a slice of cheese. It's really cute pattern. And I just made the mouse. Next up is Little Pocket Octo. I don't think I've ever followed this pattern before. I'll put the screenshot of the pattern here for you. I don't think I used this one in my $5 Market series. It's pretty cute. I know that same little scrappy piece, I made a rainbow mini kitty. I think it turned out really cool. Kind of looks like he's wearing pants. And then I had enough of like a cream colored yarn to make one little tiny chicken. I kind of messed up the eyes. He's a little derpy, but that's fine. It's for Halloween. I'm really hoping on Halloween night that it's not too crazy weather, because it always seems to snow and slush and rain on Halloween night here, and it sucks for the kids. It's just the past 5 years have been that way. So fingers crossed it doesn't happen this year, and I could sit outside with like my table and like some buckets with the candy, the chips, the soda, whatever I hand out, and the plushies, because I really want the kids to be able to pick their own plushie. I don't want to be like, here, you have a chicken, and they don't like chickens, you know? So fingers crossed. So let's count how many that was. 10 and a half. So we'll count it as 11. I just gotta put the wings on him quickly. Still Monday the 13th, but welcome to an unexpected yarn haul. There was a lady locally posted on Facebook and said, everything must go, I'm moving the end of the month, and I noticed she had a bunch of yarn. So I was like, okay, I'm going into town, and luckily it was a town like really close to us, and it was still there, and I said, I'll take all of it, and she goes, oh, I kind of have them all like in bags of like different prices. And I said, well, what's a bundle deal price you would do? And she's like, oh, you tell me. So I offered her 40, and she said, yes, please take it all. So that was great. So let's go through it. I don't know really what it is. Kind of entered it blindly, but that's okay, because what I don't use, I will use or send to the charity that I support. What do you think? He's upset that I went to town without him. But too bad, because he was snoozing the whole time. I know, life is so tough, isn't it? Oh, bless you, good yarn. Let's start with this bag, I guess. This looks like, it was a Bernat product. I don't remember what it's called. Maybe it's called Pom Pom. Here's a large bag, but we're gonna save that. Oh, she also had some household things, like random stuff. And this was maybe like 1/8 used. And this is an exfoliating body wash that I use all the time. So I said, you know what, for $1, I might as well buy it from you. And she included that in $40 because she was thankful I took all the yarn. You're blocking the camera. Can you sit? Guess not. First up is Bernat Mega Bulky. I have knit with it before. It's very difficult to crochet with because of how thick it is. Like it's painful when you crochet with it, in my opinion. It looks like there's a second skein of it, so we're gonna donate both of those. Here's some more of that weird pom-pom yarn. Here we have some dollar store blanket yarn. I know that because it has like the Dollarama tag right on it. And I've used this before. I do like it, so I'm gonna keep this. Here we have, I don't know, so I'm gonna open the bag. And she had said everything that she put in these bags here, like these Ziploc bags, were full skeins. Okay, there is wool in this, so I can't keep it. It is Loops and Threads Renee. Oh, we have a Bernat Mega Bulky again. I'll donate that. There's some more dollar store yarn. Gonna keep that. It's a nice gray color. Oh god, we have eyelash yarn. Oh god, the bane of my existence. Donate. Looks like we have some more eyelash yarn, the color brown, hot pink, black pink. This is a pretty yarn. I don't know what it is. Looks pretty fancy. It's very shiny. It's really pretty. Like, look at those colors. I think I'll donate it though. It's pretty thin and I don't know if it has wool content, so I'd be afraid to work with it. This looks like the same stuff. So this one has a label. Let's see what it is. Rainbow line, fine weight. Yeah, obviously 50-gram ball. It honestly doesn't have the content. This is a Bernat yarn. I don't remember what it's called, but I hate it, so I'm gonna donate it. I don't really see myself working with this, but honestly, I might keep it for one of my charity beanies because it's not full eyelash yarn, but it's kind of like Bernat Pipsqueak, and it's like fluffy. I'm pretty sure it's polyester. Yep, 100% polyester. Okay, I pulled my phone in a bit closer so you can actually like, I don't have to lean over so far. Next up, we have some stupid eyelash yarn. Like, I don't know who enjoys working with that stuff. But if you do, good luck to you. I wish you the best, my friend. More eyelash yarn. Here we have some blanket yarn. And it's in basically the same ball band as that Needlecraft, the one I was just talking about. This one here. So basically the same ball band. Yeah, it looks exactly the same really. And it's like a blanket. Here we have 100% acrylic yarn. I know the name of it. I'm pretty sure it's Bernat Super Value. I'm gonna put it over here as a keep right now, just in case. I'm not sure if I'm gonna keep it or not. We'll reevaluate afterwards. Here we have Bernat Baby Coordinates. There's 3 in like a blue color and 1 in a yellow color. I'm gonna donate those. I just don't enjoy working with this stuff. Next up, we have Red Heart Comfort in white. And you know, I hate Red Heart Comfort, so that's being donated right now. Because you. That's my ick yarn. Okay, here we have more of this stuff. As I said, I am gonna keep this and work it into my charity beanies or maybe some scarves, so it would look really nice. So I think I'm gonna keep it. Next up, we have really pretty pastel blue, and it looks like a 4-weight acrylic. I'm gonna keep this because I do like pastel blue in my charity beanies. I like pairing it with like a bubblegum pink together. I forgot this existed, and I'm kind of sad to see it again because it's horrible to work with. This is Bernat Sparkle Fur. You can see how disgusting it is. And by disgusting, it's not awful. It's just such a bee to work with. I hate working with it. We used to use this all the time in blankets and stuff and scarves and whatever. I mean, it's very soft, but there ain't no way I'm using it. So here's the ball band. Here's the same stuff in the color pink. This one, I'm curious to see if it has wool in it. She must have reused this plastic bag because the inside's a little bit wet. And I'm like, ugh. It's fine. It's just like a little, I'm assuming she washed it out and put the yarn in there. Oh, this is Premier Yarns. Okay, to me it looked like an old Bernat. Mega Brushed Chunky. Oh good, it's 100% acrylic. And this color is really pretty. This color is Twilight. Okay, that makes sense. So here it is in the skein, and here it is kind of almost reskeined. Either one of my double pom-pom beanies or some charity beanies. Next up, we're gonna open this vacuum sealed bag. She had it listed for $10, and I said, well, I'll take both things for the 40, and she said, sure. And she said in here was mainly partial skeins. I've dumped it all out on the floor, so I don't have to deal with the crinkle. Okay, first up is something I don't recognize. So it might have wool, so I'm just gonna donate that, whatever it is. I think it's pretty looking though. I think that would look really nice for like trim on a hat. Here's more of that fluffy stuff. This feels like a sheepy. I think it's called sheepy. Here's Bernat Mix Home. Terrible yarn. I hate this stuff. Here is some black 100% acrylic yarn, it looks like. Worsted 4-weight. I'm gonna keep this because I use it to embroider eyes on the plushies. Here is some velvet yarn. I'm gonna keep it on my keep pile for now. If I have some hair ties to make some scrunchies, I'll make some scrunchies. Okay, fascinating. This is from the dollar store for $4. I have never seen this before. Okay, this is 100% acrylic. Oh, sorry, no, 90% acrylic, 10% wool. So I can't even pretend that I'm interested in using it. There's no color, which is typical for dollar store yarn. Here is some weird, say like a 3-weight yarn. Not keeping it, donating. This feels like Loops and Threads Charisma. And it looks like this is from, it looks like it's from Michael, so I recognize that sticker. I'm gonna keep that one. Here's some weird yarn. I've seen it before, don't know what it is, don't like it. Here's the exact same stuff in a different color. This one is really pretty, but I don't know the name of it, but I've seen it before in store because I really liked it, but it has wool in it. I'm like 99% positive. I wish I could. If it's 100% acrylic, I would love to work this up today into a hat. It's so beautiful. Here we have some more dollar store blanket yarn. I know this because I recently worked with it. So there's 2 pieces of that, and I'll just throw it in my scrap bin, and then I'll use it later this month. Here we have something that definitely has wool in it because my hands are itchy doing this. Here we have some of this yarn again, cheapy yarn. I would love to know where she bought this because I would love to get it locally because you order from Temu, sure it's really cheap, but you gotta wait a bit in case you run out of a color. And this yarn I have ordered from Temu before, like this shade, so I'm gonna keep it because I do like it. It is blanket yarn. This is Bernat Premium in the color, I wanna say Evergreen. Ah, I was right. Okay, I haven't used it in like a year, but oh, good for me. I knew it wasn't Pine because Pine is the color of Bernat Velvet. So I knew this was Evergreen. In my head, I knew, and in my heart, I knew. I'm going to keep this because I do have some stuff that I could double strand with this or make a hexagon cardigan that would match this really well. So I'm going to keep both those. Here we have Loops and Threads Impeccable. This is 100% acrylic. This looks like Karen's Simply Soft. Not sure what color, but it's like a navy. Here we have more black. That's definitely Karen's Simply Soft. You can recognize the feel, the texture, the size of the skein. Oh, this is so pretty. Look at that. That is gorgeous. I'd never seen this before. I'm going to keep this one for sure. I don't feel like there's wool in it. It's not making my hand itchy. Like, I can usually tell instantly. Like, it's bad for me. This just looks like a regular worsted 4-way gray. And here we have Red Heart Super Saver Chunky. I wish this was still a thing that they manufactured because it is nice to work with. I am going to keep them. Even if I only keep one, I'm not really sure yet. I do have some stuff here that I could double strand with this for my charity beanies or charity scarves or what have you. So I'm going to keep this, and if I don't use it within a few months, then I'll donate it. In total, I'm donating 37 either bags of like multiples here or, you know, like single skeins. So basically 37 pieces or bags. In total, I'm keeping 19 pieces / bags. So I'm counting this as one piece because it's all the same stuff. And it's already in a bag. This one I'm going to keep out because I need to look for elastic bands right now. Otherwise I'm going to forget. I'd rather donate it like right away. On second thought, I'm changing my mind. I am going to donate these. I don't see myself using them anytime soon, so there's no point in keeping them here. So that kind of messes up my numbers there, but that's okay. So what would we say, 37 for the donation, so 38, 39, 40. And take away 3 from my 19, so that's 16. So there you go. Donating 40, keeping 16. And I'm fine with that because I just love going through the mystery bags of yarn. Even if I donate most of it, I'm fine with that. The day is now Wednesday, October 15th. And over the past few days, I've been quite productive, so yay. I finished up this sweater here. This is the color, pretty sure it's Bernat tie-dye-ish. You know what, I'm gonna look it up online and I'll put that little screenshot thing here because it's a really nice print yarn, whatever. So just one of my regular cardigans. And I did a 4-row repeat. So I started with double, then half double, and then granny. I took out the single crochet that I usually do just because I want to make some that are different and, you know, different stitch patterns. Also, if you hear crunching in the background, Larry's eating his breakfast right now. Steve's like, oh, somebody's gonna love that one. I'm like, yeah, I know. You know I hate neutrals. But here's the back side of it. It does look really nice. I like it a lot. I like it more than I thought I would anyway. I also finished up 2 new little Halloween minis. And by Halloween, I mean like, these are what I'm giving out for Halloween. They're not Halloween themed, they're just little chickens. And then speaking of chickens, I made this for Steve's cousin's baby shower. So here's a little chicken plushie, and that is from the pattern pack by Atomic Crochet, I'm pretty sure. Here's the screenshot. I'm getting so much use of that pattern pack. Like, I've made so many of those. 2 days ago on Monday, I filmed a day of crochet, and I filmed my entire day just so you guys can see an average day in my life, and I was able to finish up this breastfeeding poncho cover-up thing for Steve's cousin. Well, Steve's cousin's wife, technically. So I did like a scalloped edge, which was really cool. The scallops were 5 double crochets, skip, 2 single crochets, skip, repeat. So it was a little difficult at first, but eventually I got it. I like the way it turned out, and it's nice and long. Also, I apologize if that was a little loud. My iPhone that I film on picks up every little sound, and there's nothing I can do about it when he's awake. This morning I went into the city, just quickly. I wanted to go to Michael's and see if I could get some of the dummy pearl yarn. I'm really loving this yarn. I wanted to get some green to make some fat ass frogs. They only had 2 greens, and they're both the same color. The color name is so funny. Spagum? It sounds like phlegm, like you're gonna, you know, cough something up, like a mucus. Like, sounds like phlegm. No idea what that means, but I'll have to look it up. They do have 2 other really nice greens, but they didn't have any in stock, so I'll have to order online if I do order. We'll see. While I was there, I got one Charisma Northern Lights, and one in the color Ashes Multi, cat ear / double pom-pom beanies. I did place an order on Temu for some more pom-poms, because what I have left, I've noticed, is like just one of white, one of black, one of gray. I'm like, well, if I'm doing double poms, I need a matching one, so I just reordered the same package from Temu. And then while I was in the city, I wanted to get 2 new balls for Larry because his best friend, when he was over last time, destroyed his favorite ball. And I haven't stopped hearing about it since then. He's been looking for it, and he knows his favorite ball. So luckily, Winners or Marshalls or HomeSense, whatever, kind of like TJ Maxx in the States, they had that brand, and they had 2 today. So I bought them both for $5 each. And then for another $5, I got a seasonal notepad. You know, I love my seasonal notepads, and I love Peanuts, and I love Snoopy and those, like, the singing Snoopy. Today is the 16th, and I'm going to try not to ramble too much. Last night while watching Survivor, I was working on little minis for Halloween. So here's 2 little loaf bears. I love little bobble tails, so cute. And 1 mini kitty, same yarn. And 2 little ghosts with sleepy eyes. A lot of people consider them octopus, which is fine. I don't really care. They did look like octopus because I made them a little bit shorter. Then I did 3 with like regular eyes and a smile. And I've been doing different stitch counts on all of them, so that's why they're all a little bit different. But, you know, that's okay, because it's just fun for me to work on something small while watching Survivor and working towards a goal. To add to our count up to 80, we can now add 8 more. I don't have any new projects to show you since yesterday. Today is Friday the something. It's the 17th. I was in town this afternoon, and I had to go into town for hand soap, because somehow we ran out of hand soap. So while I was at Giant Tiger, my favorite Canadian store, they had this yarn. It caught the corner of my eye, and I was like, ha, as we all do for yarn. So this is very similar to that Walmart stuff that I love. This one just might be a bit of a different texture. Actually, you know what? Let's do a comparison. Okay, the white stuff is the stuff I got today. And here's the other stuff. You know, it is pretty similar. So never mind. It's very similar. So it probably is the same stuff. And this was imported just for Giant Tiger by Giant Tiger. And it was $8 for this skein. I looked at the yardage, 87 meters. So I'm probably the same as like Sweet Snuggles-ish. I got more of this at the warehouse sale this morning. I went to get some more pitter patter, I'll show you in a second. And then they had 2 more boxes of this. So I was like, yes, please. The sale is still buy 2 and get 2 for free. And then my mother-in-law got me this skein, like the first time we went. And I got it at Thanksgiving because we forgot to put it in my bag. So now I can make another sweater because I have 5. I think I have 1.5 on my cube still from the other sweater that was left over in September. And because they buy 2 get 2 free, the whole reason I went in is to get more pitter patter, this stuff here, because my fat ass frogs either sell in green or they sell in this color. You got these 2, and then you get 2 for free. So buy 2 get 2 free. So I paid for 4 skeins. I think I paid $41 ish. So this is that purple tie dye ish. Color is lavender. It's a really nice one. That's all my updates right now. I've been working on more Halloween minis, but I don't have any finished. I finished the Halloween minis, which is talking about. So I got 4 of these color bees. This is from an ombre cake I deconstructed because I hate the color. And this is one of the Walmart Mainstays yarn I got in a Facebook Marketplace haul recently. And there's 3 of those. So we can cross another 7 off the list. And that's how many we have done. Because I keep forgetting the number. Today is Sunday, October 19th. And yesterday we had an amazing day. We went down to Buffalo, New York, and watched the Buffalo Sabres hockey team play the Florida Panthers. As I mentioned before, my favorite hockey player, Brad Marchand, was recently traded to the Florida Panthers, and it was a matinee game at 1 p.m. And so we had like the whole day, and I was like, okay, if this is the one game I'm going to in my lifetime, this is it. And we were able to buy front row tickets, so we were right at the boards. So I'll put like a picture of like our view. Oh, it was so exciting. I loved it so much. And then afterwards, we went out for supper, like in Canada. And yeah, we had a nice supper that was paid for by my in-laws for our anniversary. They gave us some money for our anniversary. So we put that towards a nice date night. And I guess a date day, really. It was a lot of fun and just a wonderful day. So we left at 8 a.m., dropped Larry off at doggy daycare, got to Buffalo around 12 noon. The puck drop was at 1 p.m. So we had time to walk around the arena, which was really cool because I'd never been. as Steve's been before. And then, you know, took our seats, got back into Canada probably around like 5 p.m.-ish. Went out for supper around 6:15 once we got back to like a more local-ish city. And then I said to Steve, I was like, if we go up to that supper spot, can we also go to Michael's? Because it's in the same parking lot. And he was like, yeah, sure, of course, why not? So that was nice. He usually stays in the car. So I was able to find some chenille home. I'm surprised I still had, that was the only one I could find. I got for $6, of course, on clearance. And then also on clearance, the sticker just says, no label, clearance item, regular $14.99. So I'm assuming this was also chenille home, but then there was no label. So they marked down to $3.75. So, haha, winning. And then I also got one black. It's on sale right now. It's 30% off all yarn. While they had black in stock and Sweet Snuggles, I finally got some so I can make some little snuggler cows. And I'm excited about that. And then the past few nights upstairs, was usually where I work on my sweaters. I usually finish the body piece in like, I'd say 2 evenings, maybe 1 evening, depending. And then the next morning I put on the trim and then I make the sleeves. So I finished this one. This is Bernat Blanket Mystical. I don't remember the shade name, but here it is in the skein. Sorry the lighting's bad. We have like a dreary, rainy week ahead of us. But it turned out really nice. I do like it. And then the backside, same. It's just a granny stitch. Once we were done at that Michael's in Cambridge, Ontario, I said to Steve, I was like, I never get down to the other one in the middle of Kitchener on Fairview Road. And I was like, would you mind? And then he was like, no problem, because it's kind of on the way, but you just had to take one little street. And they ended up having one vibrant green of the demi pearl yarn. And I love this yarn. It's really nice. I'm going to order more online because it's always out of stock, so everybody's loving it. So vibrant green and more of the sphagnum, the moss color. It was nice going on the road trip to Buffalo because I was passenger princess, or crochet passenger princess, I guess. Steve was like, how much yarn did you bring? Because I brought one of these bags. These are from our local dollar store and you can fit so much in them. So I was like, you know what? I brought a variety of projects because I brought my knitting for the swatches. I brought the frog yarn. And then I brought a bunch of softy, chunky, and charisma so I could make some double palm beanies. I never ended up making any of those because it was dark by the time like we were coming back, and so I just did my knitting. I was able to get one cat ear beanie done yesterday and 2 minis. I did these over the weekend, so those can go towards the Halloween goal. Yesterday, I finished up this cutie pie, and you would have seen that in a video already because I did a separate video for him. He's for a fundraiser. It's so cute. Over the weekend, I also finished up 2 of the knitted swatches I'm working on right now. Or no, 3 of them. Yeah, 3 of them. Then I got these 2 Drift the Octopus done. I'm almost out of the peacock color. I think I have probably like 75% of one skein left to finish up 2 more tentacles, so hopefully that's enough. Also over the weekend I was able to finish up these light colored frogs, so I believe this is Vibrant Green by the Demi Pearl Loops and Threads yarn. I already had the dark colored ones done, as you guys would have just seen, but I was able to get the light colored ones done while we were on the way to the hockey game over the weekend. It is now Friday, the 24th of October. I'm going to the farmer's market tomorrow. I don't really have a whole lot of stock because I was winding down on the plushies, as you've heard me say multiple times now. But I figured I would have a job by now, but I don't. So go back to the farmer's market tomorrow with more plushies. That being said, I have been doing some market prepping. I'm doing a separate video for that, but on this video I have to update what I've made in the past how many days. So I ended up with, I think, 5 chickens? Yeah, 5 chickens. So this is just something I freehand. And I do different colored combs because that's fun. And I'm going to sell these for $10. And then I did one, this is the first one I did, and I got, I think, to 16 stitches around. But I'm going to put this in the $5 bin. I like the ones with the 24 stitches around more. I made some more axolotls because they sold out last time. So these are all done with Chenille Home or Sweet Snuggles. Here's a nice purple, gray, blue, pink with coral. I guess it's like a purple with coral. Mustard and navy, peacock and mustard. I love this one. And I did the legs longer this time just because if you do it with whatever chain amount Natalie calls for in her pattern, the legs look too short with this yarn. So this is a nice royal blue. They got on clearance recently, Chenille Home. So that was exciting with like a blue. And this is the blue from Mainstays Walmart with a navy. And it looks like I missed one chicken, another $10 chicken. So that's, I don't know how many chickens in total now. 5 or 6, I think 6. For market prep video and for the farmer's market tomorrow, I'll also finish up 2 more jellyfish. I love this one with Bernat Blanket patchwork and the color Citrus Splash. That's pretty cool. And I sell those for 15. I thought I was sold out of caterpillars, but I'm not, but that's okay. I made more, I've already made more. So I did 4 in total. They're so cute. And you can see these on the market prep video I'm working on right now. I used up the rest of my peacock color of Chenille Home. It makes me so sad because I love this color so much. So I just did some Drift the Octopus because they sell really well in this color. So these are just white eyes. Basically I took an ugly color, I flipped a little paper disc around, made it white. These ones have like a deep pink. I love this one. Another white and like a pastel pink, I guess. I also wanted to make some $10 mini kitties. I usually sell them for $5 and $5 bin, but I thought if I made some out of the chenille yarn, I could sell them for $10. I also did some blanket yarn ones. So my $5 mini kitties, I think I get to 18 stitches around, but these ones I think I did 24 or 30. I don't remember, it's been a few days. I love this one. That is Bernat Blanket tie-dye-ish in the color lavender. And then one out of Chenille Home. I did do two more for the $10 mark. They turned out a bit smaller just because of the yarn size. Like the Mystical yarn is quite smaller. So if somebody says, why is this one 10 and not 5? I'm just gonna say because of the fancy eyes. And they're this like the slit eyes like snakes or cats. So I still have to tag all these items. So I'm kind of rushing today, but still like just early afternoon. So I do have time, but in my brain I have no time. I also finished one pom-pom beanie, the double poms. I will have more to take tomorrow. I haven't sold any yet. I've taken them to 2 markets so far. But that's okay. I'm thinking I might sell some tomorrow because it's supposed to be freezing cold. Thought about taking some sweaters, but I think I'm just gonna take the plushies. I do have my Temu order arriving today. I needed more pom-poms, so hopefully that arrives this afternoon and I can get them on the beanies I already have made. I do have a bunch in my bag already. I think I have 6 that I have been taking. So this will be number 7. And I probably have 4 more in my ready to be pom-pommed area. So that would be 11 in the end. Last time I was at the farmer's market, so 2 weekends ago, somebody asked for a custom order, and it's a chicken hat for her 2-year-old who's being a chicken for Christmas. She needed, or not Christmas, oh my god. Well, maybe for Christmas too, but for Halloween. So she requested this, and the pattern inspo she sent me did have googly eyes on it, and I said you can add those if you want to. I won't add safety eyes because it would just be poking into her daughter's head, and she would hate that, obviously. So I don't know if she'll put eyes on it. She might. I told her she can get googly eyes from any dollar store. That is finished, and I have to add that to my market bag for tomorrow because that would be embarrassing if I forgot it. My Temu order has arrived, and these are really what I wanted for tomorrow for the market. They're touchscreen gloves. Supposed to be good up to negative 30 degrees, so fingers crossed they are. And I did test it out, and it works pretty good, the touchscreen part. So it's on the fingertips of the index finger and the thumbs. Hopefully I can still knit with these on. That'd be nice. It gets really hard to do like any thing with your hands, like when it's so cold outside. I also got a package of pom-poms. They're like brown, white, pink. This one is like all brown and white. I'm not gonna take them all out right now. This is the same as that last one, brown. No, maybe it's not. This is black in it too. So it's like a variety pack. Here's the second all brown. A few that were solid colors, so white. Some black ones. It looked like a black bag because they're just so black. And here's the other one. I got another measuring tape because, you know, if you don't control it, the little plastic piece snaps off and it's basically useless because you can't get the measuring tape out of the retractable. So every time I order from Temu, I try to order one of these because they break all the time. And they're only like 87 cents. So if it lasts me a month, I'm happy. And they usually do last me over a month. And I always keep these in my Temu cart because sometimes, you know, you have to meet the order minimum of like $35-ish. And I also got something I'm excited about. Hopefully, anyway. These are weaving needles. So they're really long weaving needles. Of course, the measurements were on the listing, but they look longer than they're supposed to be. Let's take a look. So these look longer than they're supposed to be. I think I had ordered 4 inches. And these are definitely more than 4. Yeah, just about 6 inches. Whatever. I might use them, I might just toss them. And the eyes look pretty small. The eyes are supposed to be jumbo, so you can get like, you know, like blanket yarn through them, but I really don't think these are gonna work. As I mentioned, I really want to order those other ones from Etsy. I just gotta wait until I have some money from the market, then I'll place that order, because I don't think these are gonna work. So these I probably will return. Well, I'm glad they got here in time for tomorrow, because I really want those gloves. I'm gonna work on attaching some pom-poms to the cat ear beanies. Not all of them, because as I've said before, you know, if there's multiple of like one colorway, I do one without pom-poms and then one with pom-poms. Happy Halloween! Today is Friday, October 31st, and October went too fast like it always does. Well, every month this year seems to go fast, but October especially, because it's my favorite month, and I want it to last forever. You know, the fall colors, the fall vibes, the fall crisp autumn air, you know, soon gonna turn into winter here, and I hate winter. While I was in the city, the past, well, 2 days, I guess, I didn't stay overnight or anything. It's only a 45-minute drive. I had to have elective surgery to get some ingrown toenails removed completely. This was number 7 and 8 for me, but it's probably about my 12th surgery. Long story there. But next year we'll do 9 and 10 and I'll be free of all my ingrown toenails. A chronic issue for me. A lot of the women in my family have it. I seem to have it the worst because it was all 10 toenails. You know, like my grandmother had like maybe 2, my sister had 2, my mom's had like 1, I think maybe. You know, I have it the worst. I had all 10 toenails, so good times. But the end is in sight, so that's nice at least. It's not like a hugely painful surgery. The worst part is, you know, cleansing it afterwards with hydrogen peroxide every 24 hours. Like trying not to scream and throw up from the pain, but what can you do? So while I was in the city, I went to Michael's. I didn't buy any yarn. I just bought a hat because it's super cute and I needed a new hat specifically because months, and you've seen this hat on my channel, I bought this hat. And it's just an $8 hat from Walmart that says LA. And right now the Toronto Blue Jays, which is Canada's only baseball team, is playing the LA Dodgers in the World Series of Baseball. So like, you know, their cup final type thing. And if you look closely at this hat, the letters are not touching. But if you look at the Dodgers logo right here, the letters are touching. So this has nothing to do with the Dodgers. This is just a cheap hat I bought at Walmart. They also had a matching sweater, but I didn't buy that. So I just got this hat. Right? And over the past how many weeks, I've been getting so many dirty looks in like comments, stores, being like, how dare you? Or like, you know, just like dirty looks as I'm like walking by. At first I was like, what is going on here? I just like, you know, I didn't give anybody a rude look or whatever. And I mentioned to my husband, he's like, it's because of your damn hat. And I was like, oh, I never even thought about that because this is not LA Dodgers related at all. It's just an $8 hat from Walmart I got probably in May of this year or April, I don't know. But you know, it is getting like old and gross and whatever. It was time anyway. But I'm like, who would have thought an $8 hat from Walmart would give me so much grief? That hat is leaving, and then now I have my cute little ghost hat, which I probably will wear all winter because it's cute. To go to the puppy rescue charity thing, I also made a regular size Scrappy Puffy. So you used to see in the big one earlier, I made like a matching-ish one to go with. And I'm also going to make one in like companion colors, like brown, tan. And then I also made 3 snakes. I didn't know what to make one night, and I was like, you know, I'm just going to make some snakes. So I grabbed 1 skein of yarn, that's Bernat blanket patchwork, and I just made some snakes. I really like how it self-stripes. I did take out all the yellow from it because I want to make some bees, which I have the bee bodies done. I just had to stuff them, sew them together, and put wings on them. And I won't be getting all the bees done today, so they're not going to count for this month. Then over the weekend, if you watched my market video, a wholesale opportunity came up for me. And, you know, after discussing it with my husband and the wholesale buyer type thing. It's not going to work out because she needs like tax receipts and she needs like all the eco-tax standards, which I can understand. But it's just not what I'm looking for. I would love to like crochet for other crochet vendors and like do their crocheting while I go to their markets and I could crochet their stock. I would love that. That's like my dream scenario. So here is a cute little bunny I made just for fun. This is a pattern from Moonbeam Crochet. I make it all the time. Here's the, what do you call it, thumbnail. And by all the time I mean randomly, every once in a while. I also made a rubber duck. I used a pattern on Instagram by Emmy Tour Hour. Here's the screenshot, yellow sparkle yarn. So I thought, you know what, it'll be a cute rubber duck, and it is. I had one scrap big enough to make a stress ball, so I made a stress ball. They're adorable, and I think they're so cute. I sell those in the $5 bin when I have markets, or I give that one up for Halloween. I'll put it in the Halloween bucket for tonight, see if anybody chooses that. And then I need to start working on some custom orders. So somebody wanted a pink axolotl, which is really fun. But then her brother, like the little girl that's getting this, her brother wanted a green brontosaurus. So I think I'm going to use Green Ash, which is that one. I think that's, yeah, that's it there. The Green Ash by Sweet Snuggles. So I'm going to use that for the dinosaur. While I was making that pink one, I wanted to make a Bernat blanket one just to, you know, compare sizes. So Bernat blanket. This is Bernat blanket tie-dye-ish in the color lavender. And then the Sweet Snuggles, I think it's like hot pink or something like that. So I just want to compare sizes for fun. So I've never actually had them together. Like I either make these, like 6 of these for like a market, or I make like 8 of these for a market. I also finished up this adorable Granny Stitch sweater, cardigan, whatever you want to call it. And this is in the color Orange Leaf by Bernat blanket. It's a really nice color. I do like it. I'm surprised I never noticed it online before, but it has color blindness, and then also on a screen it's so different than in person. But when I seen this at the warehouse tent sale thing, I was like, have to have. Great for a sweater. Because so many people last year were like, do you make solid colors? And I hate solid colors. They're just so boring. I want the stripe and the pretty and the craziness of it all. I'm glad I got that done. The back side is also just Granny Stitch. And I've also finished, I think, my favorite sweater of the year. Isn't it beautiful? This is Bernat blanket ombre in the color deep teal. And oh, it's just so beautiful. I did a different stitch on this one. This one I used the Suzette stitch, or also known as the grit stitch. Basically, it's, you know, you make sure you're in multiples of 2, so like a chain of like 24, 22, like an even number chain. And basically each stitch, so like is double crochet and then a single crochet. And then like you alternate the spaces like as you go, like row by row. And it's a really easy stitch to do. Takes a little bit of concentration, but once you get into the rhythm, I think you're good. And oh, it just turned out so beautiful. I love this ombre yarn. It's just gorgeous. I will say though, if you're using this stitch, the grit stitch, Suzette stitch, it's very, very heavy, especially with blanket yarn. And I didn't realize how heavy it would be because I've used it before, but with a worsted weight. And like, obviously that one was fine, but it's so heavy. So I said to my husband and my best friend, I was like, okay, I had like the body piece done. I was like, how should I do the sleeves because of how heavy it is? And they're like, definitely lighter weight, because like if you do like the heavy stitch on the sleeves, like they're just gonna slink off the shoulder. I'm like, yes, that is true. So I just ended up doing Granny Stitch. Oh no, sorry, it's not even Granny Stitch, it's double crochet. So I think double crochet shows off the ombre nicely, and it's not super heavy. But oh my goodness, it's just such a gorgeous piece. Here's how it looks when it's on. So you can see like it's a good length. I usually make them about 32, 34 stitches, or stitches, no, 32 to 34 inches long. So it does cover the bum. And oh, it's just so beautiful. Gorgeous. And it's so soft and so warm. I guess I lied earlier when I said, oh, that's everything I bought in the past few days. That's wrong. I went to our local Walmart because I had to get some more Tylenol, you know, for the pain of the toe surgery and stuff. They have a clearance aisle, which is nice because they just kind of dump everything in there. You can pick through it. And they had this ball of yarn for $4.49 in a big jumbled mess, but that's okay. I'll untangle it. And then they had some other balls of yarn that had no label on them. I think this is a Mainstays Walmart one, like a chenille, because I don't know, I don't recognize the print from Bernat blanket. And I've seen this before with a Mainstays label. And then they also had this nice one. So I took it at the customer service desk and I had said, that one has a tag for $4.49. Can I also buy these for $4.49? And the customer service manager was like, yep, totally. So that was nice. So if you ever see this at your Walmart, just ask. Especially if you see another sticker that's already labeled. And our local Walmart is not a super center or superstore or whatever you call it. It's like a really tiny Walmart. Like we have no fresh produce. Like there's, I think 2 refrigerated aisles. There's a freezer aisle and 1 like refrigerated aisle. So it's not a big one at all. And so everybody else posts online like, oh, look at this cute stuff that I just got at Walmart. And I'm like, we'll be here for months. So we finally got Lion Brand Cover Story Dreamland yarn. And I picked up this nice green color. The color is called Cabbage Patch. It took me a minute to find it. but it's right above the barcode. It's a good name for it, Cabbage Patch. And I thought I'm gonna try some fat ass frogs with it. Even though I am winding down on markets now, I'm just doing like some smaller events. I still like making the plushies, and I want to do some more charity initiatives with them. It brings me joy to make them, and it brings me joy to divvy them out. Considering it's Halloween, we're handing out all these little mini plushies tonight. I need to separate them from, embroidered eyes to, safety eyes. And then there are some I still have to embroider the eyes on. So we gotta do that soon. And Larry wants to assist. Right, don't you? Yes, you do. He's so needy. He's so clingy. Even though we just went for I think he'd be tired out. He is tired out, but he's clingy. So these are what I have left over from a fundraiser that I did. I don't know if I'm doing a video on it or not, but that's okay. Let's go through these. We have a bear, another bear, pickle, embroidered eye pickle, embroidered eye bear, cute little heart, another heart, a third heart, embroidered eye pickle again, and 3 bees. I believe they all have embroidered eyes. Purple for sure, and the 2 green as well. So when kids come trick-or-treating tonight, I'm gonna have to ask them, like, are you under 3? Because it's hard to tell in costume sometimes, and kids' height varies so much at, that age. Axolotl, same with this one. Mini kitty, red bee, embroidered eyes, red bee, embroidered eyes. And of course I'll let the older kids pick from these as well. Embroidered eyes on this red bee, so that's 3 of those. A little teddy bear I just made the other night. Embroidered eyes, a bear with embroidered eyes, a bee with safety eyes, embroidered eye ghost, embroidered eye mid-color bee, another one. These have safety eyes. This is chenille home, chicken with safety eyes, a ghost with embroidered eyes. And honestly, if kids think that these are octopus, that's fine. Some of them I did make sure that they do look more like octopus than ghost. Mini kitty with embroidered eyes. I think honestly I'm going to keep this one for my booth table, whatever, because it is larger. And I can sell that one for $10. Rainbow mini kitty, embroidered eyes. Safety eyes on this little mini chicken. Safety eyes on this bigger bee. Safety eyes on this big bee. I'm excited to see, what kids are leaning towards tonight. Embroidered eyes on this little mouse. A loaf bear with embroidered eyes. Another red bee, embroidered eyes. How many times can I say the word embroidered? Here's a pineapple that has nothing on it. A chicken with safety eyes. A bee with embroidered eyes. Another big bee with safety eyes. Same thing. Oh, here's the mini kitty that looks like it has pants. I just find it funny. That has safety eyes. A ghost with safety eyes. A very squished ghost with embroidered eyes. I had to reshape him. Little baby octopus. A frog with safety eyes. Another bee with safety eyes. A frog with safety eyes. Oh, here's one I still have to do the eyes. I knew there was a few, so I'm going to set this guy aside. A ghost with safety eyes. Another frog with safety eyes. Another frog with safety eyes. A frog that I need to embroider the eyes. This one also looks like it's wearing pants. I think this is the first one I did, and I was like, oh, that looks hilarious. And then I did a few more like that. Another frog that needs eyes. This one does have black safety eyes, so plastic. Here's another mini axolotl purple frog from an ombre yarn. Here's a little fat looking, it's supposed to be like a long cat is what the pattern is called. I found it during the $5 market day, so I'll put the little screenshot here for you. I think it looks like a chinchilla or a sugar glider. Frog with safety eyes. Here's a ghost octopus with no eyes, so I'm just gonna embroider some on there. Frog with safety eyes. An orange frog with safety eyes. A frog that needs eyes. Frog with safety eyes. Frog with safety eyes. A ghost / octopus. Octoghost, I guess if you will. With safety eyes. Getting down the bottom of the bag. Embroidered eyes on a ghost. Pulled out the remaining frogs. So safety eyes on this one, safety eyes on this guy, and safety eyes on this guy. I wanted to try one of the stingrays with safety eyes because I had been embroidering them and they look cute both ways. And the rest are pineapples and they have no detailing at all, so no eyes. So I got 3 yellow and 2 pink. And that's everything. I'm going to count them because I am curious what my final number actually is, because I took some from that fundraiser that didn't end up selling, which is fine. And then I put them in with this, so we could maybe get to the 80 like originally thought, but I have no idea. So let's take a look. With embroidered eyes we have 36 with safety eyes. 34 and 36. It's funny. So as it stands at the second, I have 36 of each, and that does not include the ones I have to embroider the eyes on yet. I will pump those up to, oh, I forgot one. 37, 40, and then 42. So we'd have 42 embroidered eyes and 36 with safety, with safety eyes. So in total we have 78, and my original goal was 80. So that's pretty good, honestly. We're not gonna have 80 kids tonight, so I'm not gonna bother making the other 2. It would have been 79, but I'm keeping this guy for my display table, as I said. Technically, I guess 79, but 78 in handout tonight. And we usually only end up getting probably like 40 kids. And then, the rest I'll put in my $5 bin if I get into any other little small markets. It's nice to have that extra stock. That being said, I did actually get an email earlier and then a phone call asking me to come to a small little craft show at a church, like a church bazaar tomorrow morning from 8 till 1 in the city. So I was like, you know what, why not? It's only $30 for the table. I don't know if I'll make any sales or anything, but I'm gonna take my little animals and my plushies and we're gonna go because why not? So I'm off to embroider eyes on these, get ready for Halloween night and handing these out. I also got chocolate bars for little kids, of course. Can't not give out candy. And I know I could just give out these and they'd be pleased with that, but I thought it'd be fun to also do the chocolate bars. I get the dollar store brand chocolate bars and they're 2 for $1.25. They're not super expensive or anything, and I just get 2 cases, so 48 in total. But it's gonna be a great night and I'm excited. I love Halloween so much. It's time to go over what I made in October. I did some test swatches, of course, my former workplace. It's not 22, it's actually 11 in total. 9 of them are 18 inches and 2 of them are 24 inches. I added 0 skeins to Steve's corner to corner blanket for his man cave. I just didn't get to it. Life things. It is a small slideshow, so we're already at life things, but that's okay. So beautiful sunset photo because I love sunsets and I love the clouds and the sky, so I wanted to include that. I really enjoyed filming my one Monday for you guys. That was a lot of fun. I really liked doing that video. So that was a day in my life one. It was fun. It was something off my bucket list or my crochet goals, desires list for the year. So I plan on doing another one soon, once I have like an entire day at home type thing. And then you guys would have seen the scrappy puppy that I made, the jumbo one, that I doubled up. And that was a lot of fun to film as well. And I'm so glad that everybody enjoyed it. Thank you so much for your kind comments on that video. So I probably will do another one just like that soon. Another photo of the sunset because I love sunsets, as I just said. And they've been so orange lately, which has been really nice. I put a photo of my market booth there because I don't know why. I put it there a few days ago. Maybe it was just to fill some space, but that's okay. Here's a fun photo I got from the daycare that Larry was when he was there one day. I thought that was such a funny photo. I wanted to include it in here. It kind of looks like he's about to, drop a new album or something. And then the hockey players that you see there. Oh, this was just so exciting for me. As I've talked about before on my channel, number 63, Brad Marchand, is my absolute favorite player. I love him so much. I've been watching his whole career since he joined the league. And I just love him. He's the best. And if you watch hockey, you may hate him, but that's okay. You want him on your team. And so something that Steve and I did with all my market success, and I had 2 big markets in a row that I made good money at. And I was like, you know what? My hockey team, so Florida Panthers, they're in Buffalo, New York. And for us, that's only 2.5 hour drive. So I said to Steve, I was like, okay, if you can pay for half of your ticket or like your whole ticket, I pay for my ticket, we could go. Because it was on a Saturday, so Steve wasn't working, and it was at 1 p.m., so we didn't have to get like a hotel room for the night or anything. We'd just go and come back. And that's exactly what we did. And it was just so exciting. We were actually able to get front row seats, so we were sitting right at the boards. And it was just the best time ever. And Steve was like, let's make this an annual thing. So I'm so excited for, future hockey games and sitting front row up with the best. I'm assuming it was somebody just selling a pair of their season tickets because, what are the chances we were able to get like front row seats? So it was so exciting. I want to go back so bad. I did this last month as well. I just wanted to include all of my basically sales for the month of October. On the 12th, when I was at the 10 to 2 market, I had the custom order for the policeman and the sloth picked up. So I included that in my market sales for that day because we had that planned, the customer and I, that you would pick it up at that time. So on the 11th at the farmer's market, I made $425, and then the day after I went to the smaller market, I made $205, including that custom order. And then the 25th went back to the farmer's market for my final day, and I made $275 in sales. And then for custom orders, one of them was a little brown puppy, and that was for my sister. She ordered it for somebody else. And then, of course, the chicken hat that somebody had picked up from me. So my sales total for the month of October was $955. Of course, that does not include the booth fees that I had to pay or, material costs. Summary of projects. So I have my little spreadsheet there, like a screenshot. You're welcome to pause this video and look at it if you want to. So in total, I made 5 cardigans, 1 chicken hat, 3 beanies, 2 baby gifts, 11 swatches, and 115.5 plushies. So a lot of that were for the Halloween minis. 79 of them, I think, for the minis, and then also a little event that I did with some friends that all the plushies didn't sell there, but that's okay. It was still a lot of fun to make them. So that's quite a bit of projects. There's 137 total projects complete. Craziness. We now have a new record number because of the scrappy puppy that I did. The big jumbo one, he took 60 total scraps, 66 total scraps. And then I did a smaller scrappy puppy, and he took 14 scraps. So right there, that was 80 in total. For full skeins, though, I used 45 up. And then partial skeins, I came up to 100 because I had also used scraps for other things as well. And that equals 145 pieces, skeins, whatever, of yarn used up. So that's pretty amazing. And I don't think I'll be able to reach that in November or December. And as always, I have put a new fresh photo of my yarn wall in there for you as I'm editing this video. I just took it a few minutes ago. That is current and up to date. I need to tell you guys about how Halloween went. It went really well, of course. Everybody loved the plushies. And there was so many fun reactions, you know, just little kids being like, plushies, you know, because they knew what they were. And, you know, a kid doesn't love a little stuffed toy. I had enough, so that was good. I made 79-ish in total. And there actually ended up being 67 kids instead of the usual 40 or 42-ish. I'm just glad I made enough because you never know. So yay, I had some left over. Some kids didn't want a plushie, but that's okay. I think it happened twice, but that's totally fine. They just wanted the chocolate. I mean, Halloween is about candy, am I right? But it was a lot of fun. So the reactions I heard were, plushies! Or kids will walk away and be like, this is the best house in town. And then my nephews and my niece were over there like, this is my aunt's house, we get plushies. It was so cute because I didn't tell them what I was doing. And then I had a lot of parents be like, oh, I want one. Oh, that's so cute. So that was hilarious to see. And then I even had somebody in town here. She's an acquaintance. She reached out and she was like, do dressed up adults count? Because my husband and I are dressed up. We're going to come over for a plushie. And I was like, okay, come on over. So that was a lot of fun. They got one frog for like the two of them. They only took one plushie. So that was honestly a lot of fun. And I really, really enjoyed it. And just to see the reactions, it was just so cute. And Larry actually did really well on Halloween. Usually I have to put him in his crate, but this year he did really good. I had the little leash hooked up to like our stairwell that goes upstairs right at the front door. I used to do that with my last guy too because he got excited for the kids. He would, you know, try to bowl them over. But Larry did really good. I had his little pumpkin onesie on. He hates wearing clothes. I'll put that photo in here. It was hilarious. So that really he felt really like constrained in it, so he didn't move as fast. I'm going to keep that in mind for next year. But it was a good night, and he slept so hard afterwards. He was snoring like crazy on the couch next to me once everything kind of calmed down because he didn't have the opportunity to, as everybody was coming to the door and stuff. It was a lot of fun. I'm definitely going to do it next year. It brought me so much joy. And just to see the kids' reaction, you know, the little plushies, and for me giving them out. And I had so many people reach out on Facebook afterwards, just in the community here, being like, that was amazing of you. I can't believe you did that. These are so cool. So I was like, well, I sell them for $5 each normally. Let me know if you want any. So networking on Halloween, it can be done. That's everything that I have for this video. Thank you so much for watching. I'm sorry it turned out to be so long. You know, I say every month that next month will be shorter. I'll try to get it down. That didn't happen again. So, oh well, at least you guys seem to like these videos. I mean, I like them too. I like long videos when I'm watching YouTube, you know, because it's nice to not have to, you know, select a new video to watch coming up or, you know, every 15 minutes type thing. So enjoy this movie. I hope you enjoyed the movie. I'm not going to put my usual screen up for my outro. I'm going to put a reel I just made of Larry the dog. We recently got a remote control car, this thing here, and I got it specifically for him so we can play inside in the winter and stuff, and found it on Facebook Marketplace. It's been my plan for a while, and I finally found one, and his reaction was just as good as I hoped it would be. So enjoy this little reel. It is 2.5 minutes, I think, long, so it's pretty funny. If you like dogs, you'll love this video. If you don't like dogs, feel free to skip it and exit the video. It's all good. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate all of you. Please remember that you are strong, you are beautiful, you are loved, and the world appreciates having you here. I'll see you next time.